coffee.
Well, if no one's gonna drink this, maybe I'll just... Ugh, that's terrible. That's...
It's magical. The drink of unicorns and dragons. And, oh, there's Don. Hey, Don.
Morning, Don.
Hi, Don.
Hey, Don, what are you doing there? Come on, go to your spot.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
It goes. I think we're all sleep deprived.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I was up
I
till
win that contest.
3 o'clock in the morning working on shit. Plus, I'm now into season 2 of Blacklist. And I'm cursing your existence, Don, because I'm enjoying the show so much. Anima has trouble with his character, Red's. I fucking like Red. And here's what I have to say. I know that he's loosely based on Whitey Bulger, okay? And the deal that Whitey Bulger made with the FBI. I know that is there. But I'm telling you.
When you find out his actual background and who he actually is, you're going to shit yourself.
I've already suspect that he's... we'll talk about it some other time. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But I got to say, visually, he is absolutely based on Hunter S. Thompson, including some of his bizarre mannerisms. I believe that he, I forgot his name, the actor. I think
James
he
Spader?
is. I think he is using Hunter S. Thompson when he
James
plays
Spader?
it. James Spader. I believe he's using Hunter S. Thompson. And I showed Anima pictures of him. I said, I'm telling you, if you watch interviews with him and the way he does that quirky shit, I'm telling you, it's Hunter S. Thompson. I love it, though. I love the show.
I thought I had Gary to blame for sucking me into this. Now I know it's gone.
He played Daniel Jackson in the original Stargate movie.
And I'm still hoping we're going to get an actual sequel with Kurt Russell and him. Praying for it. But it is Friday. Good morning, everybody. We've got a few people in the house. We got Penny is here. She's tired. She needs to get to sleep. She told us in the chat. Andy Morrow is here. Andy, I had to close Facebook. Between you and Keith, I swear to God, all I hear is boop, boop, boop of your fucking messages coming in. I got to tell, because Anima can hear it too. And she's like, I can hear them when you get messages. And it's very distracting, so I got to shut it down. But I will go check your messages, and I'm sure they'll be hilarious. Of course, our good friend Sox Bulletin is here. And, oh, man, D-Bud Martin is here. Good morning, my friends. Hope everybody's having a happy Friday. Everybody in KGRA land, I hope you're having a good day. I'm looking forward to when we get our call-ins and shit so you guys can call in and tell us how much I suck. I would really, really love to hear from you about how much I suck. I get enough from these guys. So, yes, he is based off of a mixture of Hunter S. Thompson and the actor who played Terminator in Terminator 2, the liquidy guy. He is based off of both. But yeah, the whole paranoia comes from Hunter S. Thompson on King of the Hill. but the look is the actor Patrick. What's his name? Robert Patrick. You were going to say something, John? I saw your mouth move. You're muted.
I just said yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you knew too. I'm a big King of the Hill fan. I'd love to see a revival of it, but I don't trust Fox today. I don't trust anything they do. No, I don't trust Hollywood. I mean, I was talking to 24/7 Fusion Media. We actually had a little back and forth today, and he thanked me for backing him up on something. I said, "Look, man, some of the stuff we got coming out from Warner Brothers has got
Joe. It's because you're an MP."
A master person. You have mastered being a person. You're a mastered person. So the new DC animated Young Batman series looks just awful. It just looks terrible. Alfred just looks insulting. It looks silly. And I've hit a point where I'm done with parody with DC.
Hey.
Let other people do parody.
We have a breach.
Oh, I've had enough backdoor, man.
Starting early.
Hanging out with a couple of my gay friends last night, and when they found out about that was endless last night when I went to hang out with my friends, just endless fucking backdoor Gary jokes. I'm just like, now in my personal life too.
How do they know?
In 3D. But this new thing with DC, because they parodied Batman already with Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn is not canon. It's parody show. It's a parody of the DC universe. And I'm sick of fucking idiot fans acting like it's canon. It's like, shut up. Do you not know what parody is? Are you that stupid? And they're going to do it again. And I'm sick of DC doing this stuff because I consider it disparaging to the original material. It's just not respectful. And they should treat that stuff with a little more reverence. And they don't. And fuck them. I'm done. So I'm backing up 24/7 on his statement on that shit. So, yeah, let me get you your backdoor thing. God, I've got this backdoor shit going all the time. It'll never go away.
Open your back door, baby.
No, it won't.
Loosen your hinges, I'll show you my key.
What was that? Still Abdul? I caught something there. Gary only accepts. Oh, the backdoor comment had Sil Abdul on it. I'm not sure what that meant, but okay. So we're going to be talking today about 3 shows. We are going to go over the new season of From. We're going to talk about it's still a new series. It's a week old, Florida Man. And this episode and next episode will be the final episodes of Hello Tomorrow.
Next week's.
Yeah, next week, 10th episode is the finale. I don't know, man. There's actually some good TV out there if you look for it or listen to your friends. Not all of it's crap. There's actually some good stuff out there. I will tell you, none of it is made by Robert Downey Jr. and his wife. I love RD. I love him. I love RDJ, but fuck, man, what he did to Perry Mason. He should be ashamed of himself.
That was just stupid.
It is a stupid show. If they had even, at this point with some of the stuff that's happened in the show, even if they had named it something else instead of Perry Mason, I still will call them out on some of the stupid shit they're doing on the show. I'm just like, whatever, dude. I don't know. I expect better from RDJ. Maybe his wife's the idiot. I don't know. I don't know much about her. All I know is they did the stupid Dr. Dolittle movie. I mean, it's really stupid. Nobody liked it. Very bad ratings, bad reviews from audiences and critics. Then they, what is this other thing they did recently? God, I just saw it. And I'm like, oh, this looks terrible. Oh, it's that stupid show on Netflix with the boy with the antlers.
Oh, Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, it's
I watched the entire first season.
Why?
And I'm like, I can't.
Because he needs to finish things.
I'm a completionist, and I get frustrated over it. It's part of my OCD. And I got to watch things to the bitter end. I have to get really angry to stop. And the show didn't make me angry. It just annoyed me.
I think that only happened once since I know you. That was actually.
Well, I watched a movie last night that
What'd you watch?
Ended up totally annoying me. Michael Dorn was in it. And I got to say, I like Michael Dorn. I like him a lot.
I do too.
Okay. But the title of the movie was Agent Revelation.
Already the title sounds like it's going to be crap.
And it was allegedly a sci-fi movie.
Allegedly
a sci-fi movie with aliens that would come in and take over people, a la the Body Snatchers.
Right.
But I watched that movie. Hey, I'm not bragging, but I'm a pretty good detective. I can figure shit out. All right. And my wife, I drive Vicky crazy all the time. We're watching something, a murder mystery, for example, and I'll tell her, that guy, that's the killer. How do you know? I know. You wait, you'll see. And invariably it ends up, well, I couldn't figure a damn thing out of this movie. The editing was so cheesy and cheap. All I can say is that was an hour and a half, almost 2 hours.
I'll never
get back in my life.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing you're sure of is that Michael Dorn is black.
He is. He's black, and he ended up dead at the end of the movie. So, yeah.
I think the important thing is he got a paycheck. It's like,
but I didn't.
Because that was fun. We had Zach Ward on Wednesday, and I know he scared you at first because he was very
No, he didn't scare me.
Concerned.
Look, I had an incident happen once in my original radio show. You know who Michael Cremo and Richard Thompson is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Forbidden Archaeology. Well, I invited each of them and I interviewed them independently. But what we would do, because our studio was very near to a restaurant, I would always, if my guests were in studio, I'd invite them for dinner, buy them dinner, okay, and we chatted up and get to know each other a little bit, then go over and do the show. Well, Richard Thompson came in. I wasn't sure who it was. He looked like a homeless guy. Now, the guy's a PhD, okay?
Looked like a homeless guy.
Really, he did. And I walked up to him and I said, excuse me, are you Dr. Richard Thompson? And he kind of looked at me and he nodded. And I said, well, I'm Don Eckert. Hey, come on over and sit down at the table and let's have dinner. Well, the guy came over and sat down, and I swear to God, the whole dinner, he spoke maybe 10 words. And he got up to go to the bathroom, and Vicky was there. And I said, guess what, sweetie? You're sitting in on the show tonight. You may have to pick up the slack. And we got over there and sat down, and I swear to God, as we started the show, it was like I dropped a quarter in this guy, and suddenly he talked the whole damn show.
He came alive.
It was kind of like Zach, you know?
Well, Zach's like that. Zach's I met him in 2016, and he was very reserved the first few moments that we talked, and then I triggered something with him, and all of a sudden he just opened up with me, and we talked for several hours over the phone. And I always like that. And so I'm always already aware of that with Zach. And I suspected he was going to be a good interview. and he was fun. He was fun. I like how based he is, because he right in the middle of our show, he points out how sick of Hollywood he is with their wokeness and their agenda-driven entertainment. Right. And I'm like, I fucking love you, Zach. But hey, Monkey Jeebus is here. What's up, buddy? Let's see, John Osteen. John, Jesus, man, don't throw yourself out there to be our manager for interviews and stuff and then not give me contact information. Seriously. Drove me crazy. I can't figure out how to contact you. So you really need to reach out to us and contact us like today so I can add you and we can have a conversation. Socks. That is a dumb fucking movie. That is a dumb movie. And I don't know how their agents agreed to have them in that movie because it's so stupid. Cusack, I think he'll just about do anything. He's destroyed his career. Jackson, on the other hand, is a smarter person than that. What's this one? Sounds like Dorn did a James Caan in Alien Nation. I actually like Alien Nation. It's a fun movie.
I like the movie and I like the series.
Yeah, the series was fun too.
The series structurally was better. I think it's a better series than the film was a film. But I do enjoy the film.
The episodes with the backstory.
I'd like to get that dude on to talk to him, the actor that played James Caan's character. Good actor. Very good actor. Let's see. The killer virus. Yeah, it's never explained. Yeah, it's just not explained. It's dumb, bad storytelling.
Real? Really bad storytelling.
What's that?
Like the real, because they haven't tell us where the other killer virus came from.
Wuhan. It came from Wuhan.
Yeah. So go ahead and bring From up for the background, dude. And we'll get started on that. It felt like we were waiting forever. Now it's Hello Tomorrow.
Okay.
This is why sleep is important, guys.
I had that prepared beforehand, so I'm sorry. Yeah, you got it.
Oh, you paid $50 for parking, John?
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't expect it, but I was already there, and I'm like, okay.
This is my complaint about conventions, too. It's the same sort of problem.
Jesus.
Yeah. It reminds me of something I said to a girl at a dance club once. I asked her to dance back when I was a teenager. She's like, I don't think so. And it's because of her, I don't think so. And so I turned to her and I said out loud for everybody to hear, $50? No, thank you. And I walked away.
Well, I was only a block from the area, so that's why it was $50. I could have parked for $10 if I would have parked like on the streetcar and taken the streetcar down.
Right.
But or one of the bus routes and hopped on the bus over. But I wasn't going to do that since I was right there.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's super expensive. Fuck you, Wade. I have no fucking man bun. That's a ponytail, bitch. I like to whip my, what's that song? Whip my hair. Let's see. Should have just got street parking than Uber.
Now Uber had raised their prices for
those events. They're a lot of people think their prices are set. They are not set. Uber bases its prices on the day of the week and how much clientele they think they're going to get that day, and they will fucking throw their prices up. They're ridiculous amounts. They can get more expensive than taxis. I learned that in Phoenix. And I preferred Lyft. I think the prices. were
I
better.
talked to a gentleman that did that, and it cost more than the $50.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm not sure, but I thought that movie Cell was based on something by Stephen King. I don't know. But let's get into From. So season 2, we waited for a while for this. It felt like for forever, but it was just a year. And we finally get the new season of From. Don had a different reaction to it than what Anima and I had. I was fairly annoyed with some of it, but I do like Don's statement, and I'm looking forward to what he explains about the bus, because I had a different reaction to that. Whereas, so once I look at what Don said, I'm like, so there's an intelligence behind what's going on with some of this, and it really looks like we're heading that direction. This could be the new Lost. From could be the new Lost, but I think it's important for them to not pull the rug out and change shit up because somebody in the fandom guessed what's going on. And they can prevent that from happening. And oddly, one of the writers that joined for this new season worked on Lost, if you didn't know that. So I thought that was interesting. He's actually worked on a lot of good stuff too. My problem is I'm always concerned it's anybody who is a J.J. Abrams acolyte, because Abrams is a garbage writer. But he tends to work with good writers. So I'm giving this guy the benefit of the doubt for the new season. What the fuck is going on?
I can make him stop playing one video after another. So.
You put it on loop, and then if you have to move them to separate folders.
Yeah.
But From starts off really oddly because they do a split up, and I'm not sure how I felt about that. I was really bothered because it's like people were there and then suddenly weren't there. There were some integral scenes for me that I really liked. I liked the scene between Jade and the kid, because the kid keeps talking about a quest and nobody listens to him. Then all of a sudden he says quest again, and Jade, the pot smoking genius, stops and goes, "Wait, what? Quest? What?" And he listens to the kid.
Both Mark Center and I agree that Jade needs to be killed.
I think Jade is a pain in the ass. And I don't think they're going to get anything done. But I'm still impressed with the fact that he is the only person so far that listened to the boy about the quest. And I was really intrigued by that. But his character has no backbone. He caves in at the slightest bit of resistance and reverts to, doing whatever it is he's going to do.
Well, it's obvious his entire life, the guy is in the storyline, the guy is a genius, right?
Right.
And he's always been able to bully all his compatriots around him. He's a software company designer, right?
Right.
He just made $1 bazillion right before he got trapped where they're at. And suddenly he doesn't have his sycophants running around kissing his ass.
Yep.
Now, the dad, okay, the married couple with the two kids.
Really, who I perceive as he is the second main character in the story. Him and the marshal or sheriff are the two main characters in the story.
Right. The dad basically knocked him up against a wall. I thought he was going to whip his ass, to tell you the truth.
He needed
knocked him up against. He did, and basically laid the line down for him. But this show kind of grabbed me from the get-go. Now I only came across it a couple of weeks ago, and I binged the first season. Now, when I watch a storyline like that, Gary, I got to tell you, I've got a weird way of watching movies and series like this. If I like it, I insert myself mentally into it.
Right.
And then I start thinking about the various aspects of this show. If I were there, what would I do? What would I do? When I wrote my novel, Past Sins, every scene with a character, I would place myself in that scene and what would I do in real life? And that's how I did it. Well, with this thing, the same way I went. Now, for me, they are in a pocket universe.
Yep, that's what I refer to it as.
Okay. They're in a pocket universe with its own set of rules and guidelines. The monsters, okay. Now, this was a part that I got to tell you from the get-go, they freaked me out. And I kept asking myself, what the hell are you dealing with here? Bullets don't work on them. Now, the first thing I went to was tactics. If I were there and I had a firearm and the firearm wasn't doing much, what would be my fallback? And the next thing I came to was edged and pointy weapons, spears and swords. Okay.
Yeah, you and I talked about this yesterday. Yeah.
Cut their heads off.
Exactly. And I would have checked with everybody in the town to find out if there's anybody there with any military background. I don't care if it's the Coast Guard, the Air Force, the Marines, the Army, whatever, but to get the vets together, because then you have the formation of a team and you could go out and basically test your theory. Okay.
Doesn't the sheriff have military background?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, but I think he's the only one.
But that's how I would have gone about it. Now, there's an intelligence, obviously to me, behind this. And what is that intelligence? Is it extraterrestrial, alien, or I kind of fall toward the demonic side, a genuine working negative influence. And it's obvious to me, okay, it's obvious that those creatures, the intelligence behind this, is preying upon human beings. That's what they do. They prey upon human beings. But there are rules. Ergo, the talismans that the sheriff found. Now, that's curious. I found that very curious.
Yeah, who made them? And they don't look new. And with the new season, Don, we find out that he's in this stone well, because the final moments of last season, he's transported into this thing through the tree. The trees aren't real trees. They're some sort of teleportation device. Yeah, they're portals. And he's teleported into this damn well. And it is a well. And it looks like it's in a castle. Because there's a dude chained to a wall.
Chicken leg dude.
Yes, chicken leg dude. The guy's got chicken legs. Like, how the fuck did he kick that rope over with those little chicken legs? The dude's legs are so tiny. And this is the most interesting new mystery. And the lighthouse itself, the ending of last season with the lighthouse, like, what the hell is that? What's that about? What's with the fucking spiders? Like, why are there like these bitey spiders out in the middle of the woods, just in this one location?
I do not want to talk about spiders.
Also, what moved the tent? It looked like the trees were moving the tent.
Well, we know the trees are moving.
What did you think of that, Don?
Well, Okay, first off, the sheriff is out there with that chick, Sarah.
Yeah.
Sarah, the young teenage murderer who
She's
has
now a
been
murderer.
influenced by the intelligence
Voices.
behind the scenes, okay? Who convinced her that if you want to get out of here, you got to do
Save
what
everyone.
we say. Right.
Save everyone.
And you do that by killing this person and the little boy. Somebody or something sees that little kid as a threat.
But is he the boy that the voice refers to? Because we have another little boy.
The Phantom Boy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, is she saying kill the new boy, or is she talking about kill the little boy in white? I'm really, I'm wondering, is she giving information and just not giving all the information, so it caused confusion for that girl? But she is a killer. She's killed already, and she tries to kill again and ends up murdering her own brother by accident because she's whack. And who wouldn't be whack when you got literal voices in your head?
And it's obvious that wherever they are, it has an effect on certain people.
Yeah, they have seizures.
The black dude on the bus.
The kid.
That was bad acting, though.
She had a seizure too. Yeah, he's not a very good actor. I'm like, oh wow, they could have done a better job getting an actor. I'm totally annoyed with his character already. The daughter was annoying last season. Now she's even more annoying this season. But the mom, because she was great last season. All of a sudden, she's walking around in that underground tunnel system. He's warned her already. This is where they sleep, the monsters. And she's constantly like, like that. And then she's like, what is that? What is that? Oh my God.
Well, I found that I
wanted to reach to the TV and choke her.
I wanted to knock her out and then just carry her ass out of there.
Right? I've never been annoyed at someone for breathing. That was a first.
I have seen situations where people become so terrified they're no longer responsible for themselves. Okay. No matter what common sense logic tells you to do, they're beyond that. And I think in this case, that was her problem. She was so scared, so terrified that she couldn't help herself.
Yeah, well, it's still in real life. I remember because as a combat medic and as a paramedic, I have had to terrify people to shut the fuck up. And that's one of the things I was constantly promoted, not based off of how skilled I was as a medic, but how I took control of scenes. I was absolutely a guy about controlling the scene. And I would get angry. I even snapped at a cop once, and I'm like, if you cannot manage your fucking self-control, remove yourself because you're distracting us. And that's how I was. I told one lady, I will have them put you in cuffs and put you in the back of the car if you don't stop screaming. We're trying to save your son. We were in a Jack in the Box. We had to extricate this kid from a car, some multiple vehicle accident at a stoplight. The kid was unrestrained in the car. He got foobar. And the mom's in there fucking panicking and screaming, do something, save him. And nobody else is taking command of the situation. I spun around on this woman, and then I turned to a cop. I said, if she yells again, take her out and put her in your car, please. And he said, okay. And she shut the hell up. And so I don't know, man. It just, that is a nerve in me. I can't stand when somebody gets panicky because it's distracting. And to be honest with you, it'll get you fucking killed and other people. And she was putting Victor's life at risk. And then Victor panics. because he doesn't know. What did he say? He didn't know where he was.
They didn't know which way to go.
Yeah, he kind of forgot the directions from the little boy in white. And so he like crumples into a ball. Oh my God. This was a stressful fucking episode. And Dad is trapped in the house. I knew that was happening. There is something, because they're in that pocket universe, and I think that there are things they can't physically see going on around them. That the things they think they're seeing are not what they are. So they have opened a portal.
Kind of like Sam and Dean when they were surrounded by Reapers. You can't see the Reapers, but by God, they're there.
I think that the realm that these things sleep in is its own other pocket universe, and it's got its own gravitational pull. And that's what's bringing down that house. What do you think? Because the house collapses in on itself.
They dug a hole down to
this other
structure
realm
beneath. Yeah. Oh, this is a real mystery, boy.
They're doing a great job because people like us, in particular, we like mysteries. Not like what JJ says with the mystery box. The mystery box only works one time. Once you know you got a guy using a mystery box, you just go, all right, fuck off. I'm done with you because there's nothing in it. That's his trick. You never know. He's trying to use Schrodinger's cat as a way of telling stories. It's like that only works once you find out, and if you don't give it to them, people catch on to your game quickly, and it doesn't work anymore. That's why his movies fucking tank all the time.
So do you think that this may be in fact demonic?
I think it's interdimensional. I think that they're like extraterrestrials, but they're extra dimensional. But demons wouldn't be far off the mark, because I think that's probably what demons are extra dimensional characters, creatures. And yeah. But if there's a good force, a bad force, there has to be a good force too. There has to always be opposition. And I think that's what the little boy in white might be. That who he belongs to might be the positive force. And that's why he tries to help them. If he's helping them. He's creepy as fuck. Shows up after everybody's dead.
He could be a trap too. We know for a fact they get in people's heads. So how much of what they see is actually real? It's not just the things that they don't see. It's how much of what they see is actually there. And what is just
that's, I said that before, because I think there are things they're not seeing that's there. Like the force that's bringing this house down around the dad and the guys that show up to help. Including the bartender who's somehow in league, because last season, the voice that's talking to the dad over the radio, that's the bartender. Your wife shouldn't be digging that hole.
Like him, yeah.
Oh, it's absolutely him, and he's the only one not there, and he knew who he was.
Right.
So what was with that? Now, was it really him, or was it one of these things, or these things sounding like him, mimicking him? This is, again, part of the mystery. This is a real mystery show. And I like that, where you're sitting there guessing, what is this? What's going on? These creatures are horrifying. The dude in the photo up above, the smile, that dude's creepy as hell. He's like,
oh yeah,
blank-faced Joker, or Joker victim.
Well, it's obvious. It's obvious that some of the characters in the town are susceptible to being manipulated by, for the want of a better term, the monsters in the woods.
Well,
now,
exactly.
That guy that thought he had a relationship building with that female entity that was outside the window. Now, second floor, you go to the window, there's somebody there. There's something about that creep.
It's very
me out.
disconcerting.
Yes.
And it takes me back to when I was a kid and they put out the movie or the miniseries Salem's Lot and the kid outside the window. That's always been one of the scariest moments in vampire horror history. And by the way, Monkey, if you listen to what I said, I used opposing force for a reason. Because really, when it comes down to it, everybody's the protagonist of their story. You know, it's a basic concept in understanding good and evil that we perceive evil because we have our personal set of beliefs and stuff like that. So you're talking to like at least a few people who know something about what the perception of good and evil is. And so I use the words opposing force for a reason because I understand that.
I'm just a side character in my story.
Yeah, that's really sucks. It's really weird. Are you
My
not
God,
the
is that
star?
John? Where did
Yes,
you
John.
pop in from?
Oh, he's been here for a while. He's been here for a while. Yeah. He went to the NFL, what do you call it? Draft yesterday and took some photos from there. And there were great photos. It was really awesome.
Oh, I got a ton more to share. It's just I was having connection issues and stuff wasn't loading. So,
and you're worn out because you didn't get enough sleep. All of us, I think everybody here hasn't slept. We're all like running on fumes. The only person that slept well is Bill behind the scenes. And he's like laughing and coughing because when he laughs, he coughs because he's still fighting with the bronchitis. But Buddha Jesus, Buddy Jeebus. I actually would like to get a picture of Monkey Jeebus with putting his head on top of the Buddy Jesus statue. I think it'll be funny. Anybody who knows.
Don't give him
That's one of the
ideas.
few things. That's one of the few things by Kevin Smith I thought was funny was that movie. I did enjoy that. What was that movie called, John? I forget.
Dogma.
Yeah. Thank you, Martin. Or should I say thank you, John?
No, that was Martin. He beat me to it.
Yeah, I know. Dogma is a funny film. I enjoyed the crap out of that film.
My brain's in slow mode today.
No, just
There
yours.
you go. Okay, so we get another backdoor breach. Here we go. Let me get to it. I'll do
Here's
this.
your potential LZs. The Marines at the embassy advise we can gain entrance through the back way.
There we go. So the thing that I liked most in this episode for season 1 or season 2 was when he finally works his way out of that well, even though I got aggravated because he's wearing the right kind of tread to climb those rocks and he can't seem to climb the rocks. But the guy throws.
He was being super clumsy.
He was just, I was getting exasperated with it. But then the guy kicks a rope down there apparently. So he climbs out, which I got to tell you, spider crawling up a well like that is easier to do than climbing up a rope. That was the bass backwards part of that scene. It's like, no, that rope would be the harder part of climbing. Spider crawling is easy. But he gets up there to the top and it reveals that it's a dungeon that he's in. And he's in a dry well that he's climbed up out of. And there's this guy, looks like something from the Middle Ages or a Monty Python skit about the Middle Ages.
He's probably old
Chained
enough to be from the Middle
to
Ages.
a wall. And God only knows how, like the first thing that's in my mind is like, how is this guy alive? You know, there's no water in that well. Is there somebody bringing him sustenance? And then the guy says, you got a gun? And he's like, yeah, good. Then you can finally kill me. And I'm like, is he eternal? And he's trapped there, can't die? There's some weird shit going on here, and I want to know. I have to find out. I've got to find out. I've got to find out the mystery. They tried to do this with Lost and failed. And ironically, they kept saying it wasn't what people kept guessing. And they kept changing shit, and it just made no sense. And then finally, when we get to the end, it was exactly what everybody had guessed, that they were in limbo. And I'm like,
they're all dead.
That show should have ended at season 3.
Yeah.
And they milked it. It was just dumb. From feels like they've got a genuine idea of where they're going with this. And I hope they stick to their guns with it, because I want to know where it's going. I want to know why everything is there, how this world exists. And I believe, like Don said, and I've said it previously, I believe it's a pocket universe. That's why they're able to grab people from different places. They have like a Stargate where people just go through it and they're suddenly in that universe. They're no longer
Now,
in their own.
you had a problem. You had a problem with
the bus. Yeah, I brought that up, and you had an interesting explanation. Yeah, explain that, because I thought it was extraneous. I thought it was just, it's really pushing the limits of logic for me, because I know that there's zero chance that she was just on that bus and it got picked up. There's no way. But you said that bus was taken for a reason, because she was on it.
Yes.
That she was selected.
Now, that bus driver, okay. Oh, did I have a problem with her?
Oh, I wanted to punch her in the face.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
She was willing to let everybody just die so she could get her damn bus back on the road. And Donna from Colonial House.
Yeah. Colony
House.
Yeah.
Okay. Tried to tell her, no, you don't understand. You can't go. And then Donna took matters into her own hand. I love that.
She's a good character.
But you got to admit, though, it's really strange that they broke their rule and trying to stop them, because at first they just let people like fuck it, figure it out on your own.
It was close to sundown,
and I'm thinking that is the only reason why they broke the rule, because they showed up so late in the day after the storm and all that weird shit that just happened. So, but we do know what I think is happening here is I think there was supposed to be a massive slaughter, and it didn't happen because Victor was predicting it.
Right.
Remember? Victor
he
predicted
was digging
graves, and then this bus arrives. And I think things are out of sorts because whoever these others are that are there are two opposing forces involved in this story that are not controlling but manipulating what's going on. One's controlling and the other one's manipulating. And I think they're opposing forces. One is, to humans, would be evil. There, I'm fixing it for you, Monkey. Explain. The perception is they're evil. Whereas those creatures, I'm sure, don't perceive themselves as evil. But I think there's something odd about those creatures, because why are they under the ground, even though they're not clearly not human faces anymore? Why are they still dressed? Why is there parts of houses in that tunnel system? Why are there? Those are like tangible things. Why are they there? What's with the fucking dummy? That freaked me out a little bit because I don't like dummies.
Yeah, me too.
They're like clowns, you know. Fuck, get away from me.
Yeah, not funny.
So there's so many new mysteries with this new episode. As frustrated as I was, I went back, watched it again. I enjoyed it more the second time, but I still want to punch the wife or choke her out, and I wanted to
and the
punch
teenager
that
too.
bus driver.
The teenage
teenager's
daughter.
really, it's like
She's...
they don't know how to write teenagers.
Yeah.
It's like, do you not remember what you were like when you were a teenager? You weren't like that. No teenager survives their teens like that. They just don't. You know, they're just vexing that they don't know how to write teens. And you get a lot of that today in these shows and movies where teens are just moronic pains in asses. Now, agreed, every teenager is a pain in the ass. But like with my kids, they were constantly trying to figure things out and constantly working with me. Never working against me, trying to figure shit out. And
one of the big problems with teenagers, and I remember this well, when I was 13, 14, 15 years of age, and it's like I can remember it like yesterday, I knew what the hell was going on. I had it all figured out.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
You think you're immortal.
Yes.
I didn't think anything would kill me when I was a teen. And then later I'm like, Oh shit! I could have died.
Until one of my friends died in a swimming pool, choking on a chunk of gum he had in his mouth. That brought it home to me.
A friend of mine, when I was 16, went swimming. They left for the weekend, and on Monday's football practice, it was announced to us that he had died over the weekend. And I'm like, what? I just talked to him. And that was my first experience with that shit. That and a friend of mine perished in a fire with her siblings when I was a kid. And I began to understand that maybe we're not immortal.
Well, they weren't. I am.
Yeah, you were.
Had a friend in junior high that committed suicide with his father's gun. So that was mine.
Glad I never dealt with that. It's bad enough having friends that died. Suicide, just God, it's awful. But look, just simply put, I'm still engaged with this show completely, as frustrated as I got. I love certain characters, and I'm curious where this is going. I liked how the dad said, "Cover us up. You can't rescue us before nightfall. Just leave us here." And so they got to go hide in the diner and fight with the bus driver. And I love that. She shoots out the tire. Donna shoots that fucking tire out. Got going anywhere now. Get in the fucking diner. Yeah, but I got to tell you, the stupid part of that bus driver, you got people walking around you with shotguns telling you to do shit. You fucking do it. Her argumentative nature was weird. It's like, I got to get my bus on time. Like, Jesus Christ, are you that much of a company woman? Come on, man. But
well, you got to know, Gary, you've known people like that.
Oh, sure. I had a boss like that, fired me because I had a sense of humor and he didn't.
Yeah, that's not a match.
And I laughed when he said you were fired. I went, oh, wait, you're serious? I'm really fired? I was 18. I'm like, oh. Because I have told you before, my mouth is what got me fired. Every single time I got fired, it's because of something I said. The one time I got in trouble as an adult.
Imagine that. Your mouth overran your alligator ass.
I was sitting there during a meeting, and this girl described this client and the way he treated her. And I couldn't help it. I was emotionally reacting when she said, and I said, what a douchebag. I got written up for it, for saying that. I'm like, it's douchebag. It's just a bag full of water. Why is that a bad thing? You know?
That's ridiculous.
But I got written up for it. And I'm still friends with that manager because she told me later, human resources, they were wrong. They were wrong. I was right for what I said because the guy was a tool. He was a douchebag. So people get offended over the stupidest shit. Fuck them. So we have to go to a commercial break here in a moment. Simply put, any last moment things to say about From season 2?
I'm just waiting for episode number 2.
Me too.
When are we getting that?
I forget
this
what
weekend.
Day. This weekend, Saturday or Sunday? Sunday, I think. Fuck it, I'll take a look.
Are you going to wait until you can watch it with me, or will you watch it without?
You push my fucking buttons. You really do with that shit.
I enjoy discovering stuff.
I like watching it with you. Don't watch it without me.
Listen, most of the shit we watch together, you've already seen 1,000,000 times. It's nice when we both watch something for the first time. Just saying.
I know.
Well, forget Ancient Revelation, okay? Forget that one.
But I'll wait for you, hon. I'll wait for you. I don't think I'm going to be happy about it. Because I don't like waiting. Let's see. It was released on the 23rd, so it will be released on the 30th, which is
Sunday.
Sunday.
So, yep, Sunday. All right. So, yep, we're all looking forward to it. And with that, I guess we'll go ahead and go to our commercial break. We'll be back in just a minute, guys. Hi guys, this is Gary from Pop Culture Minefield here on KGRA, and we're leaving for our first break. I hope we survive.
Did you know 75% of Americans
Hey members, the new KGRA DB app is now available on iOS and Android devices. Gain on-demand access to any KGRA DB programming. Download any show directly to your mobile device to listen or watch on the go. Go to the App Store and search KGRA DB.
Oh wow, we survived. Welcome back to the commercial break. Now for some more Pop Culture Minefield on KGRA. Giggity giggity. All right. Oh, we still got From. All right.
Yeah.
Let me put us here. Don, are you going to stick around for the rest of the show? He's still going to the bathroom. He's going to the bathroom, yes. By the way, I was watching an episode of Blacklist, and it's a few episodes. Peter Stormare is in it.
Yeah.
He plays a major character in the story. I was like, oh, fucking cool. I love that guy. He's good. He's very good. There we go. All right. So, all right, as my mother would say. My siblings used to laugh when I would do my...
All right.
No, my mom would she would ask just the goofiest question in the world, and she was just like, you boys want a beer? Gary, you want a beer? Steve, you want a beer? My brother, Michael, would you like a beer? We're like, yeah, Mom. And she'd turn and she'd go, all right. It's like, who says it that way? All right.
What's his name from Family Guy does?
Which one?
The guy that goes giggity giggity. I forgot his name.
Giggity giggity. Quagmire.
Yeah. Quagmire. Yeah. He goes, all right.
All right. He does it that way. All right. He does it. It's cooler the way he does it. My mom would go, all right. Like, I don't know. There was just something really silly about it. And I dealt with female drill instructors that would do that too. And it really annoyed me. It's like, quit saying all right that way. I hated the way, we had this one female reservist drill instructor. She felt like she had to be meaner than every drill instructor. So she was like doubly mean. And she called out the worst cadence, always the worst cadence. And it was like, could you imagine a boy still going through puberty calling out cadence in the military? That's what it sounded like, because her voice would squeak. And I was just like, oh my God, this is just fucking awful. Am I in the Army? Is this the Army? Have we traveled through the Twilight Zone to where we have a squeaky voiced person calling out cadence? It's like, what was that mousy character on Police Academy? That's what that reminded me of.
Yeah.
A little squirrely girl. She was cool, though. I liked her.
Yeah.
But everybody knows that Dingleberry, or whatever his name is, was a cool character.
Yeah.
There was a moment, by the way, in that show that anybody that knows anything about weapons, this guy comes out, fires a shotgun, and begins moving and is, moving around with the shotgun. and Tackleberry, that was his name.
Yeah.
And everybody ducks and hits the ground except for Tackleberry. Why? Because he, just like anybody who knows anything about weapons, knows that guy did not load the weapon.
Yeah.
It's empty now. And so he's the only one that doesn't drop to the ground. Everybody else is ducking and covering. And it's like, Tackleberry gets it. Tackleberry gets it. And he died young.
Well, that squeaky voice woman, when she gets pissed off there at the end.
Yeah, voice.
Yeah. It's like, wow, where'd that come from?
Yeah. Bubba Smith was hilarious in that too. Oh man, I love that.
We'll have to do Police Academy at some time.
I'd like that because I enjoyed all of those films. And by the way, that was the movie franchise that broke the mold for Drew Struzan. He began to be allowed to put his name on the artwork because of that franchise. And it changed the way studios dealt with him from that point forward. He did all the posters for the Police Academy films. And just one of those things I happen to know because I'm friends with him. But anyway, we're going to move on to Hello Tomorrow. I didn't know if you wanted to stick around, Don, or not, because we're going to talk about...
Yeah, I have not seen that show or the other one, so...
you should check that one out. It's a comedy. There's a little bit of DEA and law enforcement in it because he's an ex-cop. We'll get into it. I think you should check it out. It's funny. When he gets fucking attacked on the beach, when he goes down to Florida and he didn't want to go back.
Oh, yes.
First, he saves a girl from drowning, and she alleges that he molested her because she lost her bikini top. He goes, I was trying to save you. And he goes, I'll go back and get it. And he goes back to get her bikini top and then gets bit in the dick area by a shark. I lost my fucking mind. I was laughing so fucking hard at that. And makes it even funnier is when he wakes up in the hospital, his sister is standing over him in the hospital, and she said, and plays in the video that shows that people believe his dick was bit off. And she goes, but I checked. And he's like, and then you're like looking at her like, wait a minute, you looked at your brother's dick? She goes, I mean, I had them check, the nurses.
That scene was hilarious.
I laughed very hard at this show. I like the fact that the Russian mobster inherited his job, so he's a fucking idiot. And the cop loses his job as a cop because he's a gambler.
He's a gambler.
And he owes so much money to this mobster that it cost him his job. He got fired over the gambling, and he has to work for the mobster now to earn, his freedom. And there's just some cool shit. There's a little of Against All Odds kind of plot in there that I like. It's just a fun show that this guy from Florida doesn't want to go back to Florida. He goes, I don't want to go there. And he has to go there to find this mobster's girlfriend who is actually in love with him, the cop. And then his ex-wife still loves him. And she's also DEA, as I recall. Isn't she? Anna? Is she
something
DEA?
like that?
I think she's DEA. And
Not
she wants him to become her ex-husband. She wants him to be her CI. I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that. So it's just a fun show. I enjoy the crap out of it. We've gotten 4 episodes in. We'll talk about episode 2 here shortly. But Hello Tomorrow is wrapping up. This show is down to its last 2 episodes. And it is exactly what I said it was. This is a story about a guy who has been lying, but he's trying to make the lie the truth. That is how he's justifying everything he's done. And it's a problem. It's a personality quirk issue with him because it gets him into trouble. And he's been selling property on the moon to people with a lower income. Okay. And this is a alternate universe Earth. For some reason in the 1940s, maybe because of the Nazis that we accumulated as scientists, somehow we've got robotics, We've got floating, hovering cars now. And it's really cool. If you read, like I did, I read Popular Mechanics as a kid. It was one of my favorite magazines. They talk about science fiction and UFOs in that magazine. That's why I love that magazine. And
the ultra wealthy live on the moon too.
And the ultra wealthy already live up there. It's right. They have their own little resort under a dome. Well, this character, Jack, has been selling property to these people that he's an agent of, what is it called? Happiness. An agent of happiness. He wants to bring happiness to people. And so by selling this lie to them, it makes them happy. But the problem is he knows there's a breaking point. And so is this going to be a Ponzi scheme? Some sort of pyramid thing? Or is he going to try to make it true? And you find out within the story that his father died. And his father just happens to own a dome on the moon with Quonset huts on it for storage. And he owns a rocket that is now run by this character we meet. Was it 2 episodes back? We finally meet this guy. He's a Japanese
Walter,
actor named Walter that wears a South Park hat, one of those flappy hats with flaps on them. And I think he's fucking cool. I like his character so much. And so he's going to try to turn this into the real thing, dude. But he's got to find an investor. He needs an investor so he can build the houses on the moon. And he lies to an investor, tricks her and convinces her to get other investors, but catches on and thinks it's a whole con, that there's nothing on the moon. We're going to sell him these tickets and we're going to walk away with all that money and not worry about it. He's bilked her too, because there is a moon base and there really will be houses with that money. But the problem is he can't let them launch. Right? Yeah. He's got to find a way to prevent them from launching. And that's what we're building up to in the final episode.
Well, I'll check that out, Gary. I'll check that out. But
I'm telling you, it is fun. It's a story of a dad and a son, too. I like that.
I'm going to boogie. So we'll catch you guys. Well, I guess we'll see you. Well, if I don't talk to you, I'll see you.
You'll join me Monday for Green Berets, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Outstanding. I'll see you Monday then.
Okay, you guys have a great weekend, hey?
Have a good weekend, John.
Pretend I'm from Canada, hey?
Say hi to Bailey.
Okay.
And Joey and Vicky. Fucking picking one dog. Jesus Christ, Anna, what's wrong with you? So this episode,
she's my special
got
friend.
Your notes. Let's go over this episode.
No, I don't, but I kind of watched it today. So the episode starts with Jack heavily advertising the launch because he has the investor on board and she is putting good money into making that rocket a luxury transportation thing. So Jack is advertising that the journey will take 3 days to the moon, but it's going to be 3 days of all-inclusive and luxury, and shows off the rocket. Like, look how comfortable it is, and the food is perfect, and you get drinks all you want. And then we see him, playing around with her. So they obviously have a thing going, him and the rich widow. And then she tells him that she's been announcing a launch the same week, which puts him in a tough spot because there are no houses yet out there. Yeah. But everybody believes they're launching and trying to make the list. So
paying extra money.
Being thrown into chaos.
Yep.
Yeah, paying extra money for upgrades and stuff.
And another thing happens on this episode, because this is again, another prediction I said it's going to happen this season. It has to happen this season. Is that somebody, it was clearly not going to be Jack. Because Jack had ample opportunity to tell Joe who he was.
Yeah.
And every opportunity he would chicken out last minute, giving an excuse why. But it's just an excuse because he's afraid. He's afraid.
Oh, the cat's at the back now. And Joey
And
doesn't
this
want him in
episode, the
his
cat's
life.
out of the bag, and he's mad at him. That's how the last episode ended, with him telling him, "Fuck off. I got no room for you in my life." You know? But in the 9th episode, everything sort of changes a little bit. And what causes that is because Mama-san wakes up, which I
No,
also
not yet.
predicted would happen. Oh, I thought
That's in
that
the
was
next
episode
one.
9.
That's
Oh.
No,
episode
that's in the
10.
finale. She's not awake yet.
But I told
Oh,
you it was
good.
going to happen.
Yeah, we all
And-
knew that.
Yeah, what happens here?
No, I said
is
it would
that-
happen this season. There was no guarantee it would happen this season. I said it's going to, because that's going to be
Yeah.
what pushes them to the final episode. And I was right. I like when I break down writing that way and know where it's going. And I'm telling you, this is actually a really well-written show.
It is.
They put a lot of thought into everything happening a very specific way, and not in a way that comes off as Deus Ex Machina, but because the characters are pushing things, making things happen. And it's sort of like Shirley, when she absolutely steps over a line telling Joe that he's his dad. She was wrong to do that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's not her place to do it.
It's not, but he didn't get his shit together. So, and Joey needed to know.
Yeah, he's what do they call that? Chaotic good. You know,
Who, Jack or
that's
Joey?
sort of what Jack is. Jack is chaotic good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's trying to do the right thing, but he creates chaos. Every single lie he does, because he lies to one person, then lies to a person differently. He's creating chaos doing that.
It gets him
Like-
in deeper and deeper. And now he's really in the shit.
And
because
eventually
that launch
it's
seems
that
to
lie
happen.
will get found out. There's no way to cover it up, because you can't keep everybody separated.
Unlike Betty, who would be neutral evil.
She's neutral evil. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Betty and Herb are on the phone all the time telling the customers that the launch is happening, which drives Jack even deeper in the shit because he knows there's nothing to go to yet up there. So he needs to buy time to build.
Well, and then she
stuff up
says,
there.
"Well, Jack's not doing his job right, so let's report him to HQ." And
yeah,
then they're
she's
like,
intriguing.
"Hey, let's
against
put our
him.
names on the launch list."
And
There's
what
too
would
much
we
spots
list?
left.
What would we list Jack's mother as? Because I'm not sure about her. Because
I don't think
pushy.
she's.
if she's
She's not
pushy.
evil.
I don't think she's evil, but she is a problem causer. She causes problems.
I don't think she means to, though.
No, she means good. I mean, she's pushing in this very episode that Jack and Joey make up, that they
Yeah.
reconcile.
She does.
The
She
family
does
needs
push
to be
them
together in this. She has good intentions, but she keeps fucking up. Sorry.
Well, she's
Bump.
she's old and she's she wanted to spend time with her grandson, and that's not happening because he's not part of he doesn't know he's part of the family, so that's why she's doing all this stuff. So it's not coming from a place of wanting to cause problems. It's coming from a place of love because she wants to have her family together.
It's true.
She means
She wants her
means
family.
well, but sometimes that's the opposite of doing good.
But we
Yeah.
also got to look at Jack's complaint about her as a mother. That
Yeah.
she was a lush, that she was neglectful. So there's also bad in her too. But I think she wants things, but at the same time, she has previously not been the best person.
Well,
so
she's
I don't
not
know.
lush
She's
anymore.
a neutral. She's some kind of neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think she's evil, but I don't think she's good either. But she could be cataloged as, what do they call that? People who kind of float in between. Being
Well,
chaotic good, chaotic evil.
That'd just be chaotic neutral.
Chaotic neutral. Then she's chaotic neutral.
Yeah, she's not
That's
aware
what I
of the
would call her.
consequences that her action have.
Yeah. So I think that's a good way of breaking her down. She's chaotic neutral. Yeah. And it's a great actor, by the way. She's great.
Oh,
I've been watching her for years. She's in one of my favorite Australian modern. It's a Western, really. It's a modern Western that takes place in the Outback. And damn good film. It's about an Aborigine cop and an Australian marshal working together to fight against a human trafficking ring. And she's one of the villains in it. Oh, it's really good. One of the best shootouts at the end.
There are two of those movies, I think.
What do you mean?
Yeah, that Australian movie has a sequel. There are two.
You're talking about the other one. No, I know the one you're talking about. He's also a cop in that one, that Aborigine actor. Really good fucking actor. That dude just like knocks it out of the park. But no, I'm talking about a different one. And it is a really good film. I'll find out the name of it in a minute. I just got to look her up and then find the film. There she is. And when you see her, like in real life, she's got scary blue eyes. She has got the scariest freaking eyes I've ever seen. Swear to God. They're like pale blue, like almost like they're white.
Creepy shade of blue, yeah.
Yep. And I'm looking up right now to see if I can find that film. But gosh, she does a lot of work. Good grief. Goldstone is the movie I'm talking about. It's a standalone film. There's no sequel to this one. Here, I'll present share. Just for a second, I'm going to share my screen and we'll put yours back up. But
how dare you?
This film. In fact, you can switch it back in a minute here. Goldstone is the film, and it has because Chuck Dixon and I reviewed this film together. We talked about it, and I think it's one of the best modern westerns. It has one of those shootouts at the end that just inspired me. I think it's a great shootout at the end, and it deals with these. Oh yeah, David Wyndham's in it. He's really good in it. But Aaron Peterson, he's the Aborigine actor was talking about, and then the other star, I forget this guy's name. Let's see if I can find it. Alex Russell, that's him. This dude, good actor. He plays the other cop, and they're at odds with each other, and then suddenly find themselves being partnered up because they have no choice in the story. I love that stuff, man. So, but she's a really good actor, and she is one of the villains in the film, and she is really good. She is not one of those people that choose the scenery. She actually is a good actor, and just solid in that film. Highly recommend that film, Goldstone. Yeah. But Hello Tomorrow, she is. I think that we all agree she's chaotic neutral. Because sometimes she's helpful and sometimes she's a pain in the ass and causes
definitely
trouble.
Chaotic.
Because she attempted at one point to tell Joe, who she was and who Jack was.
Yeah, but we knew that. We knew that when Jack started fumbling around and just not telling him. We had three possibilities: either Jack's mother,
somebody else is going to do it.
His mom wakes up and tells him, or somebody else. Yeah, so. It was
eventually going to be told to him.
It's not going to be Jack.
And I'm so disappointed, though, that it was Shirley. Because Cheryl seemed to be one of the most together characters. And she stepped way over a line.
Yeah, but she's not. She's gambling now, cheating.
Yeah.
And that's true.
She reached her breaking point with Jack.
Yeah, Ed finally corrupted her.
Yeah, because
and in this episode,
she broke when she found out that it was all lies.
And where is she at now in this episode?
She's gambling and cheating.
She's left Brightside, and so they're gambling and cheating at cards.
That's right.
Until Sal finds out.
They found out, and Yeah,
and he sticks his hand in the toaster,
burning it off.
Oh my fucking God, a laser toaster.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Moltenizes
And the
his
hand
hand
is gone.
into a lump.
Yep.
And when I watched that, I went back to see it a second time. While Adam and I watched it, I'm like, what did he fucking, and she goes, what did he just do? What just happened? She's like, she couldn't believe what she just saw. And I went back and we watched it a second time. I was like, oh my fucking God.
It was just so gnarly.
That
Absolutely
violence, that was
terrible.
violent as hell.
Yeah.
And that shocked me for this show.
He keeps hurting Ed. He keeps hurting him, but this is a new level. Sticking his hand in that thing.
Yeah.
Because before that, it was breaking fingers and small like that. Yeah. And after he does that, he says, expect the follow-up visit.
Well, he knocks the shit out of Cheryl, too. Because Cheryl tries to stop him, and he says, I told you this was going to happen. You know?
And I'll visit you again.
So
it's not the end of it.
So you not only do you owe me money, you try to cheat me out of more money. That's what pissed him off and set him over the edge. It's like, taking my game? Oh, he was pissed. Put his hand in that laser toaster and fucking cooked his hand off. It's gone. It was just a charred stump when he pulled it out.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. What an episode.
This is also, she's decided to tell her husband that she's leaving him for Ed. And I'm like,
and she tells Ed the truth about what she's doing. Because Ed
why are you, I mean, after the whole everything, you still want to be with Ed. Okay. That's just, but yeah, she tells him about Jack's deceit now, and he's happy about it because he wants to blackmail her.
Yeah. I like when she describes that her husband didn't bat an eye when she told him she's leaving him. And she said she has seen him more upset when somebody was standing in front of the TV. That tells us all we need to know about her husband.
Yeah.
That marriage was over long ago.
Yeah. But still, Ed, come on.
You don't know what she sees in him. Love's weird.
Yeah. Hey, Caesarea. Really?
Yeah.
That's the best you could do? So, but how does this episode end?
Well, Myrtle goes to Lester and tells him that she made the list for next launch, but he hasn't even given the green light for the launch to happen because the rocket has to be approved and all this paperwork. And she tries to convince him that this is a good thing to happen, but he's like, no, need to stick to the rules. The one time I didn't, it cost me my dog because he let his dog go off leash and it killed her. That's kind of sad.
He also admits he loves her, so
yeah, right.
And she's like freaking out about that, and then he starts
the
talking
next
about
second
all these
he's
rules.
all back to the rules again. Yeah, and that's why she leaves him because she's like, I can't figure you out, dude.
Yeah. And then when Joey goes to visit his mom,
grandmother's there and wants them to make peace.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to do that. He goes to Lester and Lester gets him mic'd up so he can get a statement from Jack.
That's
without
right.
Jack knowing that he's been recorded.
Yeah, and I think that is one of the best moments in the show when he shows up at the because this game they play reminds me of Futurama, the version of baseball they play, Flurm or whatever the hell they called that game. It's a stupid looking game, and it's sort of the same thing with the show. And I'm like, is this a nod to Futurama? I couldn't figure out what they were doing. But the game makes no sense because we have baseball. Why would they have this weird sport take the place of baseball?
Because it's the future.
It's not the future. It's the 50s. So I'm like, this is weird. I thought they should have just had a better futuristic version with robot umpires for baseball. I would have bought that. I have trouble with this sport. But it's not important. What's important is that scene in the tunnel.
Yeah.
He's like, you showed up.
The rich widow has given Jack a gift. The gift is the first pitch in that game, and Jack is forwarding it to Joey, telling Joey he got it for him. And Joey, of course, is not interested in the game or anything. He just wants to record him. But when Jack throws him the ball and he tries to catch it, the recorder slips out from under his t-shirt. And Jack's like, oh, okay. And he gives him the statement.
And he doesn't get mad. He's like,
no. He says, go ahead.
This is what we've come
You have everything
to.
you need
All
to
right,
stop
do it.
me. But you can also be with me on this one.
And I love the fact that he doesn't act he's very neutral with his son here, but with love. He shows great love with him. But he's like, whatever you decide. Whatever you decide.
He decides to finally be honest.
You've got enough to do what you need to do.
It's the one moment of actual personal growth that we've seen with Jack.
Yeah.
And I liked it. It was just, he's just, look, if that's what you feel you need to do, you do that. I love you. Whatever you feel, if you got to destroy me, then do it.
Yeah.
He gives him the choice, I have plans. If you believe in me, that's good. If not, do what you have to do.
And then Joey finally asks, why did you leave him? Why did you leave him and his mom?
Yeah, why'd you leave us? Yeah.
Yeah. And he said it was, disappointment? He was afraid of
disappointment.
He
was scared to be a disappointment as a dad.
Yeah.
Because he was disappointed by his mom. And apparently
of course,
his dad because he was so busy.
Joey doesn't take that, so he takes off. And,
he doesn't do the recording, and he leaves.
Yeah.
And Jack goes out to throw the first speech.
Yep, and that's how it ends.
Well, he has to because they announce him.
Yeah. It's this show is so beautiful in many ways, and that was one of the most beautiful moments of the show.
Special effects are really good too for a TV show.
Oh my god, the cars! I love those cars.
I love the cars.
I know how they're doing it. That they have like a miniature wheel system underneath, but I'm like, man, you got to watch your turns with those things because they'll tip over. I was really impressed with how they did all of this. I like this show a lot. I love the robots too. Those robots look like Electrolux vacuum cleaners.
Yeah.
Canister vacuum cleaners. It's like, what'll it be, pal? How was your week? The robot bartenders.
Just the pour drinks in his chest, and he opens it up and reaches out and hands it to him. So he's like a drink dispenser too. I'm like, where's all the electronics? There's no room.
They're cute though.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the second episode of Florida Man. And I got to admit, I'm still a little disappointed it's not Michael Barron's Florida Man.
Yeah, I am too.
I'm still enjoying the show. I think it's hilarious. I laugh my ass off about that fucking shark scene. I just couldn't believe that happened. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Bit him. And people think the shark bit his dick off.
It really looked like it.
And the cop even asks him, like, did it? It's like
everybody wants to know. Everybody, because it has been all over TV and the internet.
Yeah, and we'll go ahead. I'm going to discuss the elephant in the room. That the star of this show, I forget his name.
I don't see an elephant.
Let me put Netflix. For some reason, you put Florida Man, and it just popped up news stories.
Yeah, you can put your birth date and Florida Man, and come up with stories that happened in Florida on your birth date.
Yep. I look at this sort of the same way I look at certain actors and certain directors that I will watch their films and I will like their films, but I don't always like them as people. I don't like Oliver Stone. I'll watch his movies, but I don't like Oliver Stone. He's a communist. I don't like Benicio del Toro because he's a commie, but I love his movies. He's a great actor, but he's a commie.
Yeah, you got to separate the actor from the art.
Yeah.
And
right.
And Edgar Ramirez, the star of this show, the guy there at center screen, is not only a communist, but he was a huge supporter for the overthrow of Venezuela, which is Martin's home country, and it's why he fled Venezuela, which was taken over by leftist socialist communists. And it's all the same animal, leftist communist, socialist, communist, Democrat, communist. That's all socialism is. This is democratic socialism. And he went down there and supported this regime. But he comes to America and he makes all kinds of money.
Yep.
And I love that about Hollywood leftists, is that they want to talk about giving up money, but they never want to talk about giving up their own money.
Oh, no. It's
They want to be at the top
your money.
of the food chain, because that's how socialism, communism works. If you're at the top of the food chain, you don't suffer. It's the people in the lower rungs that suffer in socialism and communism. And but Edgar Ramirez in real life is a piece of shit, commie. But goddamn it, he's a good actor, and I love this fucking show. So
I'll have to give it a try. I still haven't
put that out there
watched
because he, Martin hates this guy, just hates him, and
Profoundly.
Profoundly. Yes, Roman Polanski. In fact, I won't pay since
Pedo Polanski.
Since 1987, I won't pay to see a Roman Polanski film. I didn't know everything in the 80s, so I went to see that movie Frantic with Harrison Ford, and it was after I watched it that I learned everything about Polanski. I've never paid to see another film of his. He's an pedophile. That is somebody that likes to have sexual relations with young people that have gone through puberty. They've already gone through prepubescence is pedophilia. After puberty, it becomes a pedophilia, and then there's an even variation of that when they hit their later teens. But my attitude is, look, if someone's an illegal adult, then don't worry about it. But when they're still children, don't fucking do that, man. That's not right.
And I have to admit, I still like his Pirates movie with Walter Matthau.
Oh shit! Yeah, I remember that movie.
Yeah. But
no, look, I like his.
I hate to like his films, but some of my life,
I hate him as a person. It's just they're all scumbags. I think the only film of Polanski's I didn't like was Tess of the Tess. I didn't like his movie Tess because I don't. It's a French name at the end.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure the pronunciation of it, but Tess was one of those films. And it's, you had a great actress in there. You had Nastasia Kinski, and she was one of his sexual conquests. Kinski, he liked those young girls, man, like those young women, and you get a lot of that in Hollywood, man. These guys that love young men and women, like them young, and some are getting finally smoked out, and I like it.
Well, it's like that. I forgot what movie it was when Matthew McConaughey says, "That's why he likes the high school girls, because he gets older and they all stay the same."
Yeah, that's
Ed TV.
No,
that's
not TV.
No, it's
Dazed and Confused.
Dazed and Confused. Yeah.
Okay.
Dazed and Confused, and again, I've never seen it. I lived that movie. I have no interest in seeing it. It's like Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I watched a little bit of it. No, I fucking lived this. Why do I want to watch this? Because it was painful. And when I saw what was going on in Dazed and Confused, I'm like, yeah, I'm not interested in watching this. Because I knew too many people like that in my life in high school. But Edgar Ramirez is, in real life, is a piece of shit, at least until he apologizes for it.
I just assume everybody in Hollywood's a piece of shit until they prove different.
We learn it's just automatically assume, and that one just assume. It's safe to assume that they are, and then later find out delightfully that you're wrong. Like we found out about Zach Ward on Wednesday.
Yeah.
He's very based. Which explains why we're friends.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of people I know from Hollywood that I don't want to be friends with. I do know them, but
he even follows me on Twitter, so I don't know why, but he does.
He really is. He's a nice guy. Just a really sweetheart of a dude, man. And I like it. Like if you become friends with him and on his Facebook, he posts a lot of personal stuff up there. And I love the pictures of him and his woman, man. They look so happy. They look like they're just having a blast. But getting back to this, episode 2. Episode 2 starts with what?
Well, episode 1 ends with Mike following Deli and another man, and then he hears shots and charges in and finds her dead on the bed. This episode goes a little bit back in time because we see how she meets the guy who is an EMT and convinces him to help her fake her own murder so she can escape. And then help her.
It is
Yeah.
scary as hell. It's like, he says, well, this should work.
No, he doesn't. This is going to make you pass out and slow your heart down that much that you won't be able to feel a pulse, but it should
theoretically not kill you.
It should wear off. Just like, should. And next moment he starts her with the syringe. Yeah, well, he steals blood from the blood bank at the hospital he works at and all that, and steals an ambulance to get her out. But on the way out, and she's just about waking up in the back of the ambulance, he is hit by a police car that is driven by a guy who is even higher than Jeebus. And he jumps out and wants to go for the ambulance.
I don't think that's physically possible.
I think it is.
To be higher than Monkey Jeebus.
That dude is high as a kite. Anyway,
hey, Penny's back.
Welcome back, Penny. So Deli is picking up her things that she can and disappears into the bushes so as to not be found. And we find out later that she didn't get the most important thing. She has to go back to get it. It's a thumb drive.
Yep, the thumb drive.
Yeah. She gets cleaned up and waits for Mike in his hotel room. So when he goes back to his room in the motel, she's on the bed with a gun pointed at him. And he's like, well, okay, you're not dead. Cool. But she begs him to keep lying to Moss that she's dead. Because she knows that it's his way out of his debt to bring her back to him. But she also knows she's dead when she goes back. So that's not an option. Also, they are in love with each other. So he keeps lying to Moss and tells him, yeah, we're done, though. And Moss isn't having it. He's like, yeah, when I'm buying a fish, and the fish gets to me delivered dead. You think I pay? You're not off my hook because she's dead. You didn't bring her back to me.
Which is a problem because it was a deal they made that he found her. But he's changing the rules of it, saying that was to be alive. And so he's pissed. And
he's ordering him back,
this.
But he doesn't want to go.
I'm not going back. He's not going back.
Yeah.
So
somehow Deli got the coin, and they talk about the treasure, finding the treasure, and that would solve all the problems. At the same time, the guy with the broken leg tells Moss about the same treasure. Because he owes him so much money, but he says, here's the solution. We just have to find this treasure and you'll have your money and you can leave him in peace. Then we see a robbery in a liquor store go all wrong because the liquor store owner has a katana or sword of some kind. And the other guy the other guy just shoots him and then he drops the pistol that he used to shoot him in a river or something. And the boy finds it there. Boy goes fishing. And it's near an alligator.
On the nose of an alligator.
Yeah. So the boy is clever and uses his fishing rod to get the pistol. And then later we see the cop who's on a holiday with his family and got his gun stolen by Mike. He's trying to get his weapon back.
Deputy Sheriff Kitcher.
Yeah. He's just trying to get his weapon back. And the boy apparently is in the right place at the right time. And calls him over and shows him the gun.
Valentine, the main character, stole his gun at the airport. So he
grabbed a gun and it happens to be the gun of the cop. So the cop just wants his weapon back and he buys the weapon.
He buys it from the kid.
Not knowing that it has been used.
Not knowing that it's been used in a crime.
Yeah. And that ends funny later.
Oh, so that's why the alligator has the gun.
Yeah, because
out.
That was disposed of, and it ends up with the alligator, and then the kid gets it with his fishing rod and sells it to the cop. But then, shit, it's like I got to tell you, Clark Gregg's character is just not having a good day. Everything goes wrong for him. Because
it really does. He gets stopped by a trooper.
That was it. He gets stopped.
He gets stopped by a trooper, and no, it doesn't fall out. His wife is looking for the papers. It's a rental car, so they don't know where in the car the papers are. And she opens that middle console between the two seats, and there's a gun in there. And she didn't know that her husband bought a gun illegally. She's like, "You got to be kidding me!" Yep,
he's arrested because it was used in a crime. Like, oh my God, this guy's life sucks. Then
he gets really fucked over. I've already dropped the bomb. I can as well do another. Because we see him in the orange suit and he's on the phone with his wife on the other side of the barrier thingy. And the phone stops working. So he asks an officer, hey, something is wrong here. And he's like, yeah, just touch screen, go to speakerphone. And he goes to speakerphone and everybody hears his wife ranting about how they cannot do that to a cop who has arrested so many prisoners. And you see the other prisoners on their phones turn and look at him. So he's in trouble.
Yes, and by the way, the only reason why the kid is guilty of committing a federal crime is because he found a weapon and sold it.
Yeah.
That was used in the commission of a crime. So therefore, I mean, you can actually find guns. You can actually legally find guns and sell them. Yeah, and not require an FFL license. But you have to have a federal firearms for new guns.
Yeah.
But here's the caveat. In this given situation, if you find a gun that was used in the commission of a crime, or potentially was, odds are you should probably talk to the police. And you'll see a lot of these guys that do diving and find stuff, they will report a lot of the stuff to local law enforcement before they take possession of it. They'll call law enforcement to check it and make sure, because you don't want to get caught selling something that is later found out to have been used in a crime, like a handgun or a rifle. And so the kid absolutely committed a federal crime, not to mention local too. He'd be in trouble for both. But you were saying, I'm sorry.
I don't think the cop would tell on the kid though.
No, I don't think so either.
He's not a. I mean, he fucked up.
Stitches get stitches.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't do that. But the scene is so funny when his wife goes on about how many people he arrested and he's such a good cop, and all the other prisoners look at him, dude.
Yeah, in front of the other prisoners.
She doesn't know she's on speaker. Or she doesn't pick up that he's not holding his phone to his ear anymore. He's just having one bad moment after the other.
Yeah, this guy is just like, I don't know what he did in his life to get so much bad karma.
He just wants to go on a holiday to Gatorland with his family.
Yeah, he wanted to go to Gatorland.
Yeah.
And he felt naked without a gun. And I understand that as a cop in particular, because you don't know if you're ever going to run into somebody, a threat. And so cops tend to want to be protected at all times. Self-protection, protection of their family. And his wife's kind of a see you next Tuesday to him at the park when you see it, saying that bugged me. She's dismissive and just.
Why didn't you just go buy a gun?
That would have been the way to do it, but the problem was, as I recall, there's the 3-day rule is part of the problem.
Yeah,
so I think they ran into that in the show.
He's trying to get help getting his gun back, or a gun, and they just keep throwing obstacles in his way. And he wants it now. He doesn't want to wait for it. He needs a gun.
What's now?
Yeah.
And if Florida has a 3-day wait period for pistols, so.
And I think they still do, don't they? Most places do.
I'm not sure. Yeah, well, Missouri doesn't.
You can walk. Well, yeah, here in Missouri, you can buy a gun same day. You can go to a gun show and buy a non-registered gun.
Well, no, they're registered. You still get it when you go to a gun. When you go to a gun show, you buy a gun. They do the background check. So it's, you still have to go through that process. It's not you just buy a gun and walk out. That's a myth that the gun control people put out, that's how it does. But when you go to a gun show, yes, you get your background check just like would go to it as if you went to a gun shop.
How do they do delivery?
It's sent to your local
Guns
FFL
dealer,
gun dealer.
Yeah.
Same thing, buying guns online. They send it to your local FFL registered gun dealer.
Licensed registered dealer, yeah.
Yep.
And the thing I love about FFL, by the way, like my dad had an FFL license, and he used to get the magazine, the big tabloid magazine from the FFL, and you would find, no shit, you would find fucking tanks.
Oh yeah.
For sale, like, and I'd look at my dad going, "Please buy a tank." Please buy a tank. All I ever wanted as a kid was a tank.
And yes, you can legally buy a machine gun, but the problem is it takes a really thorough background check, tons of red tape, and a $300 tax license fee for that gun on top of
now. Back in the 80s, I think it was a little different.
No, that's the way it's been. It was, the tax wasn't as high. It was like 150 back in the 80s. Now it's like 300 and something.
Because I remember my dad was very interested in buying a Thompson submachine gun, full automatic.
Yeah, it's usually the most popular. Well, it'd be the most,
I got the
also
fire
the most
one
beautiful too.
No,
I'm sorry, I just had the funniest fucking thing pop up into my news feed.
Oh.
James Corden gets hit by a car while yelling, "I'm a star" in the final Crosswalk the musical.
Okay.
And I'm like, awesome.
Yeah. Do you survive?
I don't know. I'm going to go open up here. So James Corden gets hit by a car while yelling, "I'm a star" in final Crosswalk the musical. James Corden is giving everybody everything they want before leaving the Late Show, which he's been garbage on. He's so unfunny. The host did one of the, and he's not even that good a singer. So it's like,
no, he's not good at anything.
No, he's terrible.
It was part of it. It sounds like it was part of the show. So
I'm looking to see. It's like the segment has seen flash mob performances in the middle of crowded crosswalks from the cast of Frozen. Just gay stuff. Just like gay stuff that even gay people go, that's really gay. The final segment saw Corden reunite with Crosswalk alums Jane Krakowski and Josh Gad. Another piece. I fucking hate Josh.
Should hit Gosh Jad too.
I fucking can't stand that guy. For a final medley, the musical, as they neared the end of their performance with a sunny performance of Someone in the Crowd from La La Land, Corden had a meltdown about the musicals they never got to cover, such as Wicked and Fiddler on the Roof. He ran back into the street and yelled, "Don't honk at me, I'm a star." Corden began to sing "If I Were a Rich Man" from the 1964 Jerry Brock musical, and Little
Fiddler.
They don't even mention that. They just, from his musical, but then they don't say the name of it.
Fiddler on the Roof.
Fiddler on the Roof. If I were a rich man, viddy, 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 vom. All day long, I'd viddy, viddy, vom. If I were a wealthy man.
We're almost at the end and not quite done with the episode yet.
Keep going. I just want to know if he got hit. If it killed him.
Okay.
I love that.
Well, Mike and Deli are on Gil's boat and looking for clues as to where the treasure is, the gold. And then Mike goes and organizes, quote unquote, the keys to the boat because he wants her to go away. Canada, South America, it doesn't matter, but because Moss is eventually going to ask questions that he doesn't have answers for, and she needs to be away and in a place that he doesn't know. And she is totally bummed that he just can't wrap his head around that she wants him to go with her. She doesn't want to go alone. But yeah, he keeps getting stuck with his family. That's not helpful. Yep. Also, he does a new deal with Moss to get off the hook. He says, "Listen, I can't give you her alive because that's done. But we can make a new deal. You let me off the hook if I find out who murdered her." And Moss is contemplating it for a while, but eventually says, yeah, okay, but you bring him to me. I'll deal with him. So that bought them some time, at least. And Moss wants a memorial for her, a big one. And of course, he isn't doing anything himself. He has his people that work for him.
Yeah,
so
the memorial next episode is fun.
About the memorial and how he wants it to happen. And then he goes to the safe to take out money, and he sees the open case and the thumbnail is gone.
That's right.
She has it.
The thumb drive, yeah.
The thumb drive, yeah. Because she went back to the crash site and looked through all the clothes that got that spilled out of the suitcase that she had, and she finds it eventually.
Oh man. And that's how the show ends. That's this episode.
The show ends with Mike being stuck with his family, basically, because his sister wants him to make peace with his dad, and come on, we never hang out with each other. And now you're in Florida, now let's have a barbecue, and he's just half of his brain isn't even there because he's working on so many things that they can't know, of course.
Right. That's it.
Well, that image makes a little more sense now.
With the alligator?
Yeah.
With the alligator with a gun on his nose, and I'm not sure about the crane yet, but
them being in the water, because everything leads to that sinkhole. I'm thoroughly enjoying this show. So we're at the end of the episode.
Jeebus, there can't be an after show because we have TGIF in an hour. There's
I
no
got to
time.
go straight into prepping. Yeah, there's no time, buddy. I'm sorry. And I'm not sure I'll do one after TGIF. Here's today's episode. Will you drop the banner? Martin, can you drop the banner? Thank you. So this is the show today. Kieran Bug will be there for the first hour. We'll be going over some Geekosity news and rumors. And probably talk about some other stuff because there's other stuff going on. With Deadline made 2 major announcements yesterday. We're also going to discuss Disney Star Wars is dead. It's just dead. I don't think it's got a chance of revival. Star Wars will always be there. Long live real Star Wars. But Disney's attempt at Star Wars has completely failed. It's eating itself now. It's just ridiculous. Nobody's going to watch it. There's going to be that small crowd that there's always going to be a small crowd of people that don't give a shit. They'll eat anything.
Martin.
You know, people who call anything by Chef Boyardee fucking real Italian food. That's the kind of people
No,
that
it's
like
not real Italian.
bad Star Wars.
It's good. I like, SpaghettiOs, or not SpaghettiOs, but ravioli.
It's a good snack. It's not real Italian food.
I can't have it now, but
that sucks, dude. Yeah, you can't.
I can eventually because I can put it, but I have to be careful about how much of the pasta I eat, unless I do like the chickpea pasta, and then it doesn't have as many carbs.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, the chickpea pizza crust, that shit's bomb diggity, yo.
Yeah, cauliflower is where.
Yeah.
I don't like the cauliflower one. I like the chickpea pizza crust. Yeah, there are more carbs with it, but there's more protein too. And I just think that is a better tasting pizza crust made with the chickpea flour. It's good stuff.
No, my sister really likes the cauliflower, so I'll give it a try when I finally. Technically, I could probably have it. I could technically have it now because if I go by my list.
Yeah. But basically we've got, we're going to be talking about some cool stuff today. We're going to be talking about the Wonka stuff. I got to tell you, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued with this. The Mattel Hasbro, team up. This is a huge team up. That's just unprecedented. Hasbro completely screwed up. They screwed the pooch. Big time. And Hasbro teaming up with them, I think, is maybe them trying to save the company. Dodgeball sequel. We're going to be talking about that. And we're going to be talking about just how well Mario Brothers did in the theater and how well it's still doing.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure some other things will pop up.
It finally opens in Japan today, which means this weekend it should hit $1 billion.
I'm telling you, man, that's impressive what they did, what they pulled off with that film. And it makes everybody in Hollywood look stupid. It really does.
And it opened in South Korea 2 days ago. So
how did it do there? Do you know?
I'll
look at it before we do the show. I'll look at it. But okay, I want to thank everybody for being here. We are at the end of the show. I want to thank Penny, Andy Morrow, Sox Bulletins, D. Bud Martin, Joe's Atmosphere, Munker Jeebus, thank you, come again, John O'Staines, Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips. Let's see, and Alex Moore. Thanks for dropping in, guys. I want to thank the audience on KGRA. Thanks for listening to the show. I hope you enjoyed us talking about these shows. Friday's morning show is all about talking about shows that are good. I'm tired of all the negativity. So we're just trying to be an agent of positivity. That's all we're trying to do with this show. So hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you in about 45 minutes for TGIF. Should be fun. I don't know who's going to be here, but I know Kieran will be here. Kieran said he'd be there. So we'll have him for an hour, and then we'll go over some other stuff. So
I'll be there.
See you guys. All right, man. See you in an hour. Bye.
Bye.
Those sons of bitches. Ma, I'm doing a show.